So this is an installation that's a little bit different. It's a little tough to see. There we go. We're working today in about a 100-year-old Adobe home near Old Town in Albuquerque's North Valley. It originally was a flat roof house, where you can see that some of these much older homes, they used dirt at the roof level, not only to insulate but to build in a little slope for some drainage. I suspect. This one has had a pitched roof added onto it, where you can see that it's now a pitched metal roof with an attic space. And we'll be going through the old wood ceiling and dirt roofing, if you will, for our installation. But first step will be excavating some dirt. Here you can see a little more detail in this old compacted fill dirt that made up the roofing material on this house. You can see where we've started to chip away some of that down to what appears to be a roof deck with a pocket below that revealing the ceiling. But just one of these hidden things that we see in Albuquerque sometimes that you don't see in a lot of other areas. It's kind of interesting to look at. So you can see here that I've marked out, it's kind of a rough circle, pulled away that compacted fill. You see this in various depths depending on how the house was built. Sometimes a shallow fill like this, maybe 3/4 of an inch or so of compacted dirt before you get to the roof deck. Sometimes it's deeper than that. Next step will be just to cut a little pilot hole in this roof deck and look in there and see. We've got judging by the gap over here, we've got a pocket between our roof deck and the beadboard ceiling down below. So we'll open that up and see what we have. Okay, now you can see we've cut away our old roof deck, exposing the old beadboard ceiling down below. And there's nothing in there, just have a standard ceiling joist set 24 inches on center. We'll cut our circle through that ceiling below with a jigsaw, and then we'll run up to our roof below. Just a little interesting installation. Bob Vila wishes he had cool stuff like this to work on. Just kidding, Bob Vila, don't get all mad. Okay, so here we are on the roof. That's the screw that I put through from the center. We're doing the installation through the old flat dirt roof and up here to what was turned into a nice modern metal pro panel roof. This roof is a little steep, so you can see I've mounted a couple of roof jacks here, available at any roofing supply center. They mount to the existing roofing screws that come through the metal, and then in this case I've put a 2x6 on there so that I can safely stay on the roof. Keeps my tools from sliding around, gives me much better footing and a little more confidence for working on a steep metal roof. Here I've made some marks on the roof. The circular or oval mark where the hole will be cut, where the Solatube will actually go through, and then some dotted lines for some cuts that I'll make by hand to accommodate our flashing relative to the Pro panel. Giving myself a little starter point for my Sawzall. Got my safety glasses on, and now it's gonna get. Okay, we've made the cut now with the Sawzall, and very shortly I'll start on the relief cuts that we have going here. We have where I've marked out the roof just with a marker, with a Sharpie, so that I can get a little relief with this metal roof to aid drainage and allow our flashing to fit. Okay, so you can see where I've made the relief cuts. Those are just done by hand with tin snips. And on the uphill side, where we meet the ridge, as well as on the downhill side, where we meet the ridge, you can see that I've cut the ridge back and folded it in on itself. Gives me a little surface, a little built-in backing where I'll apply my polyurethane sealant. It's always proven to be very reliable. The little seams on either side of the hole are where my flashing will tuck in, so we're up under the metal roof and have good water flow and drainage from up high. Okay, I've used a 2-inch masking tape just to tape off the rough shape of my flashing. That way we get a little cleaner edge once the flashing is in place. It's time to set the flashing and screw it down. Alright, so we have set our flashing. And that top half is up underneath our pro panel roofing. We've applied sealant below it. You can see that as the roofing screws went down, it squished out extra sealant. But as we pull away that tape, it should give us a nice sharp edge. Then later, a matching roofing paint can be applied for aesthetics to blend this with the rest of the roof once the sealant's. And there we have it. The tape is peeled. Nice sharp edge. Again, mostly for aesthetics, just so it looks a little bit cleaner as it relates to the flashing. And yeah, could be painted at some point in the future once that sealant is properly cured. And now the finished product. We've just completed our installation. It took us just shy of 2 hours start to finish as we were working through the process of finding a location and checking feasibility through the old attic space, and then mounting our flashing here at the roof. But if you're considering installation on a metal roof, please give us a call. We'd love to take a look. We're the Natural Lighting Company. We're the Solatube premier dealer in Albuquerque, New Mexico. In the attic, one final view where you can see the Solatube coming up through the original flat roof and then up through the new roof deck onto the new pro panel. Should be in good shape to provide nice natural light for many years.